How to virtually wholesale houses in 2024 with no money at all. What is up guys, Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I wanna show you how to get started virtually wholesaling real estate when you're super broke and you got no money at all. That's probably one of the biggest struggles virtual wholesalers have right now because they got no money. How are they gonna actually find sellers and get deals and everything like that? I'm gonna give you my full tutorial today on how to do this so you can start getting virtual wholesaling deals right now. You gotta remember, if you're looking to get in virtual wholesaling right now, you got no money, no guru wants to help you out. You're just a credit card check for them. So you're stuck. They either want you to fail or fail so much, maybe make some money in your job, then pay them 10 grand and keep you in the hole. Well, I'm gonna give you the actual information that those people don't want to give to you that helps me run a 7-figure wholesaling real estate operation. So let's break it down right now. So first we need to start off, 2024 is going to be the best time ever to get into virtual wholesaling real estate. With tools like AI, more information and more people to wholesale with, and really the ease of getting better skip tracing and more free skip tracing out there on the internet, getting a virtual wholesaling deal is easier than ever. Google Maps is driving around properties and getting pictures for you right now as we speak. And really, if you look at this year versus last year, it's gonna be a lot easier. Sellers are a lot easier. It's better than ever to find cash buyers now. This is the time to do it. I cannot guarantee in the next 2 to 3 years, the wholesaling real estate game doubles. Heck, I've even seen on this YouTube channel and on the Flip Lurk YouTube channel and all the other channels that a huge portion of my new subscribers are not just US citizens, they're international. We got wholesalers in Europe, Africa, Asia, and across the entire globe trying to get in this business because it truly is one of the last dying businesses out here where you don't need any money at all. You can have a thick accent, it doesn't matter. You can run up $100,000 your first year virtually wholesaling houses from your house. I cannot tell you how many times I get people from Trinidad and Tobago, Zanzibar, Slovenia, Canada, Mexico, they get their first wholesaling real estate deal virtually, all from the information we teach on this YouTube channel. So what I'm here to do is just keep the train rolling and get more people the first wholesaling real estate deal virtually online. So the first thing, if we're gonna get into virtual wholesaling real estate, is we gotta figure out what market to do. And I feel like this is a problem a lot of wholesalers have. They don't know what market to be doing. Should I do Ohio? Should I do Iowa, California, New York? What do I do? And the funny part is a lot of people are like, Zach, I live in Liverpool, England. Like, I don't know where other states are. I knew LA and I knew New York City and Miami. What should I do? I don't even know the counties or the cultures or anything like that. And I would say don't really freak out too much. Don't get too worried. You don't really need to be focusing too much on that stuff. Yeah, culture does have a little play to it, but if you can let sellers know your name is John and you have a partner locally there and you're both looking to buy some houses for cash in the area, that's all you really got to talk about. That's really all you need to be focusing on. Don't really sweat it too much. Now, if you're looking to find a good virtual wholesaling market, I would stick to my #1 rule that has not changed in the past couple of years in virtual wholesaling. You're going to make sure that the county you're working in, the county you're going to be finding wholesaling deals in, yes, we're only going to focus on one county here, has a population over 100,000 people. The point here is if there's over 100,000 people living in a certain city or county, there's going to be a decent economy going on there where there's going to be people working and having jobs, and there's pizza staff there's people working in the grocery stores, there's bus drivers, sanitation workers, teachers, Uber drivers, arcades, and things like that, right? A decent economy that has all these different jobs, which means there's people that are going to want to rent property, which is going to create landlords, or it's going to create people that want to flip houses, and there's going to be a real estate market there. That is very active. That is the point here. With an active real estate market, it's going to be easier to offload these contracts we have under contract. And when we can sell a lot of our wholesaling deals, we make more money. So we want to make sure we have a high enough population. That threshold I found is at least 100,000 for the county. Now, I will tell you, and just FYI, I've done a lot of virtual wholesaling deals where the county was below that, but it's been a lot harder to do. Next year, we want to make sure that the median home population for the county is under $500,000. You don't want the price to be way too high. If we use like San Diego, California, for example, sorry for my San Diegoans out here, but you're probably watching this because you're looking to get in virtual wholesaling real estate. It's a lot harder to get a 20% discount off of a $1.5 million house than it is to do a $150,000 house. Think about this. A 10% discount on a $1.5 million home is $150,000. A 10% discount on a $150,000 house is $15,000. Human beings, this is how our psychology is wired in our brains. We can look at a $15,000 discount and be like, that's a lot. But when it comes to taking a $150,000 discount, people can't get over that at all. It's very, very difficult for them to do it. That's why you see multi-million-dollar homes listed. They will get like 0.5% discounts when they're not moving, and why $200,000 homes will easily get 5, 6, 7, 8% price cuts all the time. The cheaper the house, the bigger percentage off people are willing to take of a discount on the property. The name of the game here in wholesaling real estate is to get a nice discount on the property and sell it for a profit. Now, you might think, Zach, if I get a $1.5 million house on a contract for 1.4, I could sell it to a buyer for 1.5 and make $100,000. And I would say, yeah, on paper that makes sense, but you got to remember the costs of flipping a house is a lot more when it's higher. The problem is there's fixed costs. There's dock stamps, there's taxes, there's holding costs. There's all these expenses come when you're renting out property, when you're flipping it. It doesn't make sense. Now, flippers are more willing to take less discounts when it comes to a bigger ARV home, but they're going to want to make still a ton of profit on this. And so this is why you got to find the sweet spot where you can statistically make the most money. This is kind of the demand curve in wholesaling houses. And it's really a population above 100,000 and a median home price below 500,000. If you want to look at your county's population, search the county, space, state, median home price, and it'll tell you that. Usually Zillow gets that information, then do the same thing with the population. It'll pop up with a quick Google search. All you have to do is find all the counties in the United States, pick one that meets that criteria. I don't really care which one you choose because really you can make money anywhere on this. I would prefer you get a list of all the counties in the United States. There's usually Excel files that you can download, and I'll tell you which ones have above 100,000 population. Then choose randomly one of those if you really want with a median home price below 500,000. Now, a quick hint here, I've seen the best success areas in the southeast part of the United States and then areas in the Midwest. So it's gonna be like Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, and states like Ohio, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Now, if you're looking to find virtual wholesaling deals with no money at all, your marketing lists and the ways of finding these deals is gonna be a little more limited. This isn't the end of the world here, but it means we're gonna have to probably put in a little more effort here. When you're finding virtual wholesaling deals, it all comes down to two factors: lists and your marketing channel. The lists I would say you should be sticking to right now are going to be government lists. Now, you're broke, so you're not going to be spending 50, 60, 70, $100 a month on a paid software to find lists. You're not going to be spending $1,000 on skip tracing. You probably don't have money to spend on the software, which is completely fine. These wholesaling gurus got you screwed up thinking you need to spend all this money on software. Just get the motivated style lists straight from the government where you're virtually wholesaling. In my free course, freewholesaling.com, I break down exactly how to go to a government office in person, online, or even calling over the phone and actually getting this information. It's actually a lot more simple than you think. It's gonna be lists like the probates, the water shutoffs, the fire damaged properties, the tax liens, the tax delinquencies. Any of these are gonna give you wholesaling success. Now, unfortunately, you're not gonna be able to do drawing for dollars or reverse drawing for dollars, which is one of my personal favorites. But one extra strategy, if you can find people to do it for you and then you can split the deal 50-50, that is one option you can do. But probably I would stick to cold calling government lists or text blasting them right now. This means no fancy things, all right? So no PPC, no crazy softwares, no SEO, no direct mail, no Facebook ads, none of that stuff. That's gonna be really expensive. Now, when it comes to the marketing channels, we got no money. We don't have many options. Really, the three options I can tell you to do are gonna be either cold calling, which is basically calling the sellers up and seeing if they wanna sell the property, SMS text blasting, probably on our personal cell phone here, or with a website like googlevoice.com, or digital bandit signs, basically posting Craigslist ads and going into Facebook groups and making posts powered by AI that we teach in freewholesaling.com, my free wholesaling course. Those are really the options you have. And they're really not limited options. I know they feel limited, but really these are great options that have proven to work month and month that helps hundreds of thousands of wholesalers become successful. There's a million ways to make $1 million in virtual wholesaling, but really the ones that are most tried and true are gonna be cold calling, SMS text blasting. Now, digital bandit signs do work, but it is a newer strategy. It is definitely helping people out, but I would implement at least something above digital bandit signs, either SMS text blasting or cold calling. Now, I might be like, Zach, I'm not gonna spend all this money SMS text blasting. This is where you're trying to get me, man. And no, you can do SMS text blasting absolutely for free. In the free course, I literally have a free SMS text blasting tutorial on how you can text with no money at all. No softwares, no gimmicks, nothing like that. Next here is the acquisitions and the closing part. And this is when things get a little more tricky, but not really that difficult, if that makes sense. The only thing in acquisitions that you're gonna be focusing on is writing up the contract. Because when we're cold calling and SMS text blasting, our main focus is just making sure in our marketing that you find someone that's interested in selling the property. Now, once they're interested in selling the property, we move on to acquisitions. And acquisitions is basically the process of converting someone that wants to sell their house to a signed contract. Now, we kind of go through our MCTP, we go through everything we teach in the free course and on this YouTube channel, but really the only thing you need to be focusing on in virtual wholesaling is just getting that contract signed. Now, the only tricky part between regular wholesaling and virtual wholesaling when it comes to the acquisitions part is going to be getting that contract signed. And no, we physically can't go on the appointment here, but what we can do is still condition the seller, making sure they're ready to make a yes or no decision, which I teach in the free course, and making sure that they e-sign e-sign a contract and not physically sign. We can give the offer over the phone, no problem. It's any of my closing tactics still work. I have hours and hours of that on this YouTube channel and hours of me closing sellers live virtually in my free course, freewholesaling.com. Now you're gonna have to use an e-signing service. Adobe has it for free, PandaDoc's free. Use a paid one. DocuSign is probably my favorite paid one out there. You can also use Dotloop, but there are plenty of free e-signing services you can do also. The one difference tip I can give to you for acquisitions though is when you give the offer and they say yes, make sure you stay on the phone. So if you say, Mr. Seller, we'll take 100 grand. They say no, 110. Well, can we meet in the middle, 105? Sure, 105. Okay, perfect. So what I'm gonna do right now, Mr. Seller, is keep them on the phone. I'm gonna email you over our agreement right now. Let me know when you see it. Now, they're gonna wanna get off the phone and read it, and if they get off the phone and read it themselves, you have a 50-50 shot to even sign it, which I don't really like those chances. So instead, you're gonna say, we're gonna email you over the agreement, let me know when you see it, read it over. If you have any questions, I'm gonna stay on the phone with you. Then once you're ready, we're gonna sign the agreement on the bottom, just saying that you're gonna sell the property for this amount to us. They might have some questions. If you go through the contract video that we have, it'll answer all the ones that you need to know so you understand the contract yourself, and boom, you can get the agreement signed. Now, when it comes to selling that deal, we're gonna do our classic way to find any cash buyer, cold calling the for rents, cold calling the cash sales. You can actually find the cash sales by going through public records, but really Facebook groups are gonna be your best friend here for finding cash buyers. Your title company, still use a regular title company for virtual wholesaling, and just the for rents on Zillow. Basically asking people, hey, my name is Zach, I'm actually not looking around at your property, and I'm actually a wholesaler, and I'm seeing if you are looking to buy any more rental properties in the area for cash. If they are, put them on your list, send them over the deal after you're done vetting them, and then sell that contract to them and make a big assignment fee. Now, the only hiccup here I'm gonna say is probably the walkthrough, and this is probably the toughest part. You're going to need to get pictures of the property to sell to the cash buyer, and you're gonna have to walk them through. Now, getting pictures, you can either get from the seller, you can pay someone to take pictures of it, but if you're broke, that's hard. You can find someone you can give 10-15% of the deal with and have them take pictures of it. But really, when you have no money at all, I would probably get some pictures from the seller and then have the cash buyer take pictures and then send you back those pictures in exchange for them being the first person to look at the house. When you got no money, it's really tough to do this, and that's probably gonna be your best bet. I prefer just paying a guy 40 bucks to go take pictures of the house, but sometimes you gotta have the cash buyer do it for you to help you out with the situation and have the seller send you some general pictures. Other ways to find buyers, you can do networking really well. You can even use realtors. They're great cash buyer tips for you too, and they'll take pictures no problem at all also, especially if they're desperate right now to get some money. And those are some of the best ways to find cash buyers. Now, virtual wholesaling real estate, you could still do with no money in 2024. It's gonna take some time, a little bit of effort, and some ingenuity, but the information out here to do it's out here absolutely for free. You go to freewholesaling.com, my free course, you go to this YouTube channel, ask me questions on my live streams, you're gonna be all set up for wholesaling success. The real question is, are you gonna be the X factor? The real X factor of virtual wholesaling success is the work you're gonna put in. Are you willing to put in the work and willing to become successful? If you are, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out. I'm wishing you all the luck this year for virtual wholesaling success. Have a blessed one.